off. Smart choice.
Now a 2-2 count, 2 away, bases loaded. The pitch, low in the dirt, ball 3, and with nowhere to put him, it's bases loaded, 2 away, full count.
Lawler is just trying to calm down. If he allows another ball, game is tied.
Something's got to happen here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Lawler faced the pressure, but he flames Delgado, and UIC escapes the first game in Peoria with a big win over the Braves. 1 to McCoy, today's starting third baseman. That one swung on left field deep, and that one's gonna fly out of here. A home run for Kirsten McCoy, her team leading 5th of the year.
Kirsten McCoy.
We kick off the weekend in Peoria, Illinois, with a marquee Missouri Valley Conference matchup. Tonight from Renaissance Coliseum, it's the much-improved Bradley Braves taking on one of the league's premier programs in the Drake Bulldogs. Welcome into the broadcast. Alongside Owen Dimpfl, I'm Cody Schindler. Owen, we hit the nail on the head right there. Drake is a premier program, not only one of the best mid-majors in the country, they're one of the best programs in the country, plain and simple. This is a Bradley team, already surpassed last year's win total. They're in search of a marquee win. How do they get one tonight?
I mean, both teams are coming in hot. Bradley, 2 conference wins over Evansville and Indiana State. And then for Drake, they're coming in on a 7-game win streak. So both teams are really going to be looking to keep that going. For Bradley, it's going to take a lot of a team effort because Drake is one of the best programs, as you said it.
Led by Katie Dinnebeer, a talented guard. We'll talk plenty about her tonight. So we dive into our keys of the game, presented by your Peoria area Toyota dealers. The guard play is great, but paint touches.
Yeah, it's going to be big for Drake with Bradley missing one of their best rim protectors in the paint, Amy O'Hara. It's going to be huge for Anna Miller to have a big game and a point of emphasis for the Drake offense. Also for Drake, they're going to want to limit the turnovers. They average about 17 per game, and that can be a byproduct of playing really fast as they do. So their 17 turnovers per game also ranks second to worst in the Valley.
Bradley has to control the pace. They're not going to win a track meet.
No, and they're going to want to slow them down, beat them at half court, find ways to be physical and just have some resistance against this Drake offense. And they're going to need balanced scoring. We've seen Soleil Barnes be an offensive catalyst for the Braves offense. Can someone else step up and help her along the way? But Courtney Beckner, as a 5th-year player for the Bulldogs, all 5 years spent at Drake, she's another important part of the offense.
Not sleep on 32 in blue. She's got the bright pink shoes on. You can't miss her. Soleil Barnes lines up the 3 and knocks it in.
It's a good sign for the Bradley offense to score right away. That's what they did against Indiana State.
Braves have been prone to some slow starts over the course of the year. Don't have that luxury tonight. There's Dinnebeer with a post touch over Abu Azesh. He can score in every which way.
Everywhere, and even beyond the arc. Limitless range, as you could say, for Dinnebeer. I mean, her past 4 games, and 3 of them she scored 30+, so she's going to be the most dangerous player that this Bradley team could see in the entire conference.
She scored 29 in her last game in this building last January. McDermott fouled. Anna Miller shaking her head in disagreement. Free throws coming for the Bradley freshman.
Another good look right away for the Braves to go down low. And for Ellie McDermott, this is going to be a big game for her. She's missing her counterpart, Amy O'Hara. So for her, she's going to have to take on a bigger role in this game.
Reversal here through 10 minutes in Peoria. The Bradley Braves shooting just 28% on the year from distance. They knocked in 6 triples in the first quarter, and they staked their way to a 9-point lead.
It was very impressive, and really just a collective effort between the 3-point shots. And you look at the numbers on the year, you said 28%, but really they averaged 6.3 per game. Well, they're already at their mark after the first quarter, so Bradley's offense is ticking, and that's going to be huge if they can carry that over here into the second quarter and second half of this ballgame.
On the other side, Drake 4 for 14 The team an 0 for 6 from long range. They entered action shooting north of 35% from beyond the arc. Harriman stopping and starting, scores it off glass.
Harriman doing a great job picking up where she left off from the game on Sunday against Indiana State. Can be a valuable scoring option off the bench.
12 points, Division I career high. Tied that mark on Sunday. She's well on her way to surpassing that here this evening. Shot clock at 5. Dinnebeer with 2. Tried to feed it to Miller, and it's a shot clock violation.
It really looks like the Braves on defense, each one of them know their job, and they're executing at a high level. We've seen a lot of possessions for Drake get the shot clock to 10 or below, and this time it was a shot clock violation. So if they can push the Drake offense to play slow, so far it's working in their favor, and they're converting on the opposite end.
The Bulldogs have no answer for Tamia Perriman. She's in double figures, and Dinnebeer ends the scoreless drought for the Bulldogs, a stretch that lasted 6 minutes.
And she's the player that can turn a game on the flip side very quickly. We've seen it in games before. So just because they went on a slow stretch of the 6 minutes scoring drought, they can score quickly.
Barnes reigns in a 3. It's contagious.
Very contagious. We've known Barnes has been a great shooter this entire season. I think it's got to feel better for her seeing her teammates also step up to the plate and deliver with her as well.
Alsma back at you. Illinois State transfer. 43% from long range. That's what she does.
Yeah, that 43%, 5th best in the Valley. This Drake team, just a lot of capable shooters, and they all stay ready when they have Dinnebeer at the point guard, controlling the offense. Obviously, teams want to collapse on her, but she's ready to kick it out to the others. I mean, no one's really big into the moral victories, but it's still really promising. You look at what was against Bradley in this. You're missing a starter. The replacement starter goes out in the first quarter, and then you dealt with some foul trouble with your other post player. I mean, they were just in a tough position early on in this game, but they never, shut it away. They were accepted the challenge. They were up to it, and they battled throughout this game. No matter if they were down by double digits, they found a way. And so for them, it's a very promising performance. But at the end of the day, Drake found a way to win, and that's what good teams do. They find ways to win.
They don't ask how, they ask how many. The Bulldogs come into Peoria. They remain undefeated. Out of sorts. Extra pass. Nelson fires the triple and knocks it home.
Yeah, she was looking for that first field goal. Now she got a great three-pointer to extend the lead for the Braves, and hopefully that can trigger more of an offensive rhythm.
Much-needed bucket for her and for her club. Runner hangs and scores off glass.
And that's really what the freshman does best, just attack the basket. Great scorer, coming in averaging 17.5 per game, but she can get it done at the free throw line as well. And so just one of those players you're going to have to keep an eye on every possession.
Barnes long 2. It's spun out. Into the arms of Runner. A little bit of everything in the first 5 minutes. Inside. Hartwig. We haven't even talked about her. Another 17-point per game score. She averages 17 and 9.
Yeah, just a very talented player. And we got to see that on that last possession. Just great footwork in the post. You can give it to her every time, and she wants that one-on-one matchup. Can go either way with her hands.
Rainbow 3. And rebound out of bounds to Evansville.
And talking about Kaylin Nelson, she's returned from an ACL injury from last year. And Papa Vigas really was excited to see how she could progress into conference play. She wasn't cleared until October, right before the season, so that was a quick turnaround to ramp up and get ready for the season, the conditioning, the just effort that goes into that. And so now that we're going to get into the conference play, it'll be interesting to see how she continues her play. Maybe get it from Claire McDougall, one of just 2 players for the Braves that actually played against Evansville in their matchup last season, her and Rubabu Hashesh.
That's college basketball nowadays, isn't it?
That's why I said, like, when we were talking about the youth of Evansville, they have all these great freshmen. That's why I said if they can keep that nucleus together for a year or two, you just never know with that transfer portal.
The first 5 minutes, and Coach said all the time, coming out of the locker room, that first 5 minute stands is crucial. How do you see maybe Bradley trying to build off their offensive spurt, Evansville trying to reestablish the paint? How do you see it unfolding?
I think you said it on the ladder right there. I think Evansville wants to reestablish the paint, go back to Maggie Hartwig down low. But for Bradley, if they can just find someone else, like I said, maybe Kaylin Nelson, or you'll finally get Rubabu Hashesh. She picked up her second foul really early in that first half, so it forced her to go on the bench. Maybe she can come back on the court and find some offense, or at least help find an open shooter every once in a while.
It's a good point. Abu Azesh, Bradley point guard, was down with 2 fouls.
But really, it's all going to be all about who starts the quickest. You know, we saw in that first quarter, it was kind of lackluster between both teams offensively, but Bradley only scored the 5 points. They can't afford to do that again in the third quarter. And really, when you look at their games, it's been a trend where one quarter across the 4 is when they kind of get into a lull. The other 3 quarters, they play well. Look no further than just past Sunday at Belmont. 3 really good quarters, just 1 really bad first quarter. And if they can just avoid that, that's what Popovic Goss wanted to see coming into this game. It's just 4 complete quarters from her team. I doubt after this one she can say that she saw that tonight, but if she can at least get a win, it'll give her more confidence going forward. And now we're starting to see Runner kind of take over this offense. She's getting her way to the rim, getting the whistle to the free throw line. She wasn't getting her shots from the field to fall, but that's what happens when you're a good scorer. You find other ways to put up points, and that's what she's doing right now.
Well, here we go, Owen. Go for 2 in the tie, you go for 3 in the win on the road. Sometimes coaches tend to think a little differently. Trying to steal a road game, want to get out. Regulation. But Evansville's best player tonight, no doubt, has been Maggie Hartwig. Find a way to get it down to your big on the block.
Yeah, they did it on the previous possession when they did have the ball. And going back to that, too, I forgot to mention it, but Palomo had a great cut. She was wide open underneath the basket. Someone was late to her assignment, so they would have had a chance for an easy bucket, but Hartwig had her back. I think she had her back faced her, so she didn't see it. But, yeah, I think you want to see some sort of created space for Hartwig. Maybe she can roll around into the inner circle and maybe get a good enough look, or maybe draw a foul, because 2 free throws could tie it up as well. And she's a great free throw shooter herself, 84.5% on the year.
On both these teams,